You know, there comes a point in almost every relationship where you might find yourself wondering, is he hiding his feelings or is he just not interested in me? You might wonder if he's sending you mixed signals and if he's even in love with you at all. Well, there's a lot of confusion out there about this and we're going to settle it today. That's right, we're going to talk about, is he hiding his feelings or is he just not interested? Hey, and before the credits roll on this bad boy of a video, I want you to make sure you do the big three. What are they? Number one, make sure you like and subscribe to the videos. Absolutely turn on the notifications, that little icon next to the subscribe button, and leave me your questions and comments below. In order to know if he's hiding his feelings for you or not, there's something you have to know about guys. And I gotta ask you a question. Do you understand the dilemma of men? The reality for most women is that they just don't understand men. Not because guys are particularly complicated, or not. It's because we simply don't show our feelings and our emotions as obviously. Now, here are a few facts about men and their emotions. Fact: men have powerful emotions and feel them as deeply as women do. Fact: men don't express those emotions as often or as obviously as women do. It's very fashionable to talk about men as if we're inadequate or emotionally stunted when you compare men to women. After all, the female emotional process is held up as the gold standard of healthy emotional functioning. But there are many other things about men you might not know. First of all, men tend to focus less on their emotional state for meaning in their experience. They just don't use emotions to tell them what's particularly meaningful. Even though men experience emotion deeply, most guys don't experience as many blends of emotions at the same time, at least as women do. And just because he doesn't express his feelings the way women do, that doesn't mean that his way is the wrong way or that he's emotionally handicapped or broken in some way. Now, that last one is actually pretty important, and I hope you'll remember it, because we all tend to evaluate other people and situations using our own experiences. You see, most women, not all women, but most women have an advantage over men in the relationship area because, well, women tend to relate to their emotions so much better, which is why I teach women to manage men better, so you can get the relationship you want and he can get the benefit of your emotional ability. So the dilemma of men is that we're always going to look emotionally unavailable compared to women, okay, who are much more emotionally focused. And here's another tip to remember. Most men are actually afraid of women's strong emotions. Guys are deeply intimate with the emotions of anger. This much we know, right? But other emotions and shades of them are outside of our experience. And since most men need women's acceptance, any of her other strong emotions are hard for him to understand. Add on to that the fact that he has no skills to deal with them, and you've got a surefire recipe for panic, big time. So when guys check out or they pull away from you during a heated emotional exchange or argument, now you know why. Now let's get into his feelings and understand why or if he's hiding his love from you. Is he hiding his feelings or is he just not interested? Clue number one is he gets jelly. And by jelly, I mean jealous. You'll see it in the simple moment when you mention another guy or you mention an ex-boyfriend and you see his expression change, you know, his eyes have that change of, and you might not know what happened there, but you know something just changed between you. That's usually when he's trying to cover up the one emotion he knows will probably kill your interest in him. Jealousy. It's kind of cute in a way, but any feelings of jealousy a guy has about you are signs of interest most of the time. If, however, he never does anything when he has the opportunity to act on it, there could be some issues with him, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. Clue number two is he takes the initiative. Now, for him to be the kind of man that you desire, you have to have a man that will take action, and he's going to go after what it is he wants. And this includes going after you. Let me share one of my little rules with you. Yeah, I know, Carlos has a lot of rules, but this one's pretty good. Carlos's rule: if he doesn't take action on his interest in you, then he isn't worth your time. Now, this isn't going to be a popular rule for anybody, but it's essential that you understand how important this is for you. You see, if a guy doesn't act on his desire for you, he might as well not be interested at all. Why is this? Well, number one, if he's interested in you, he needs to show you. Otherwise, you're always going to have this nagging doubt of whether or not you've really got him or not. You'll constantly be anxious about his devotion and his commitment level. Number two, if he's interested in you but will not take action, you're going to have that kind of behavior of his crippling your relationship into the future, and basically all the way until you eventually probably divorce him. Number 3, if he won't act, you'll carry that burden of initiative. You'll be the one having to start everything up, and you'll start to resent him for it, and he'll seem like half a man. Number 4, his inaction will kill any sexual attraction that you feel for him. Eventually, it will just die out, making it 10 times more likely that you'll want to cheat on him. And you know what? You probably will. Now, I know these sound like dire consequences, and they are. This isn't pretty. That's why I want you to really understand how important it is to find a man who is not emotionally crippled like this, who will take initiative. He might have trouble communicating some emotional things, sure, but eventually he has to be unencumbered by his own issues in order for your relationship to succeed. Don't make excuses for an emotionally disabled guy. You may be tempted to hold out hope that something's going to happen if you just give him more energy, as if you haven't given enough. Give more time to him, be more patient with him, or any number of excuses that we come up with to throw more and more time into a relationship that we want to make work. I get it. No one wants to put in all that work only to have it fail. We get so stuck in trying to make it work that we lose sight of the fact that maybe this relationship was only to teach us about how to find a really available partner. Remember, some relationships are simply training wheels to help you get better at the next relationship. All right, clue number 3, he's still talking to you. This is for you when you're out and maybe you're talking to some guy and he starts talking with you, and there's this really complex clue to tell you whether or not he's into you. In fact, you may not even spot it at first. What is this hard to spot clue? He's still talking to you. I know, it's crazy, right? If a guy is interested in you in any way, he'll find a reason and a way to keep talking to you. This is really a big sign of whether he's interested in you or he's just hiding those feelings away. It's crazy, but it's true. If a man chooses to keep talking to you, that means he's probably interested in you and attracted to you. Clue number 4, he locks up. Inevitably, a guy will fall into awkward behavior at some point in your conversation. If you notice this happening, there's a good chance he's interested in you, but he's embarrassed about it. And this can happen really anywhere from the first night you meet him to 5 or 6 or 7 dates down the road. It might be a quiet moment where you're both looking at each other and the conversation grinds to a stop and it's kind of like, what now? It might be when he reaches uncomfortably close to you to pick up his drink. It might be when he brushes up against you unexpectedly or accidentally in the kitchen. It's in that awkward moment that a thought enters his head. Kiss her, touch her, hold her, dude. Or at least he thinks about how much he wants to do that. In that moment, he's just dumbstruck by his attraction to you. If you see that lockup happen, that's a big sign. All right, clue number 5, he keeps bailing out. A guy is struggling with his own interest in you if he keeps finding ways to almost hang out with you. Let's get this one thing clear right now though. If a guy cancels out on a date with you, it has to be a big deal for him. It has to be something really important for him to do that. And he should sound appropriately apologetic when he does cancel. All of this is fine, but here's the important thing to watch for next. If he's interested in you, he will reschedule within a few days. If it takes him more than a week to suggest getting back together, he's not valuing the idea of a date with you enough, right? You're just kind of like better than nothing. Or he's got other things in his life that are distracting him, like his girlfriend or his wife. Yeah, it could be. A guy that is currently single and is interested in you will make a date happen. Now for clue number 6, I'm going to send you over to the site for that. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com and go check out the article on if he's interested in you or if he's resisting you. Clue number 7, he's sending mixed signals. When a guy is ambivalent, meaning he goes hot and cold with you, it's usually a sign that there's some pluses and minuses on his score sheet that are basically telling him whether or not he should start up a romance with you. When he's hot, he's let go of all of his trust issues for a little while. He's really into you and he's moving forward. When he's cold, well, they come back for a bit, or he just wants some free time to himself. But I have some really shocking news for you. Here's the deal. Guys almost never hide their feelings from you. Guys do not fight their feelings for a woman they really want. We don't have that in us. We men simply aren't sophisticated enough to hide any emotions from you. If you just watch us for a minute or two, we're bad. We're pathetic. You got to be able to, you can pick it out easily. Think about it. Have you ever held yourself back from going out with a guy that you really wanted? Look, we want you, we men, we want you to know that we're interested in you so you can show us if you might be interested back. and then we will work up our courage to ask you out or do something about it. Now, you have to keep in mind that he will probably not announce out loud that he has feelings for you, but he will definitely act the part. If you ever seen a guy who loses all control for a woman, you know what I mean. It can make a guy crazy with desire for you. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Guys are usually not afraid of falling for you. We're not afraid of falling in love. We're not held back by our emotions. We just go for it if we want it. I coach women on how to get the man they desire. And one of the most frequent questions I hear is, Carlos, he seems like he's afraid of falling in love with me. He keeps telling me how hurt he was by his ex and he's finding it hard to trust again. No, that's not happening. What he's saying is that he's having fun sleeping with you and he thinks he can keep sleeping with other women. He knows this will get him out of having to make a commitment to you. He doesn't want to be tied down to a relationship with you. If a man finds a woman he's attracted to and she values herself as the prize to be won, he's going to chase her. He's going to chase her and he's going to try to lock her down as his girlfriend. And if she can keep her dignity and self-respect after he's made a commitment to her, he will eventually probably marry her. Men typically make a commitment to women they feel lucky to have won. I'm going to say that one again because it's huge. Men commit to a woman they feel lucky to have won. What women tend to do is make a huge mistake. The huge mistake women make with reluctant men. You want to know what it is? She tries to make up for his lack of energy and conviction with her own. She tries to convince him that she's the one for him, even if he's not totally into it. She starts cooking for him, cleaning for him. She crosses the line from pursued to pursuer, from chased to chaser. And the harder she works to get him to see her as the one, the more likely he's going to fall in love with another woman who doesn't treat him half as good. I call this flipping the needy switch in your relationship. And if you've ever done it, you're not alone. It's one of the most common mistakes women make, and it's also one of the easiest to fix. If you realize the problem and know what to do instead of jumping right in and trying to rescue the relationship, you can even turn the situation around to your benefit. You want to learn how? I got an easy way for you. I've got a cool quiz, one you're going to want to take. Go here, datingfire.com/does he love me? datingfire.com/does he love me? Go check it out. It's a cool little quiz, and at the end, I'll tell you a little bit more about how to learn how to read this guy and know if he's really in love with you. And of course, before we go, do the big three. Number one, like and subscribe to this whole video series, and turn on your notifications so you know when the next one comes out, probably next week. And leave me your questions and comments below because I check them out to figure out what to do my next video on. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com/does he love me? Go check out the quiz, and I'll be seeing you next time. As always, live and love with passion.